Yep. Go, pump it up. Dun. Yeah. Pump it up. Dun. Yeah. Let's see what we got going on here. Pump it up. Hello, everybody. You're welcome. Yeah, we got everything going on. Everything's going on. Waiting for my cohort, Mr. AJ Brooks, to get on the line so that we can kind of go over everything that we got going on. Got a new look that we're going to show you guys. So AJ's coming on now. We got a new look that we're going to talk to you guys about and then go from there. So that's about it. Hope everybody's doing well. This is week 4. I hope everybody's doing well. This is week 4 of the football season, and it's going to be interesting. There go Mr. AJ Brooks. What's up? AJ? How you doing, brother?
Good. How we doing today?
Man, I'm trying to make it. We're getting ready to get on this week 4. Everything been good?
Everything been good. Can't complain.
No
Hanging in there.
complaints. All right. Hey, well, we might as well start it on up, man. Let's get this thing started. First off, tell the people where they can, we're gonna hit them up first with our social media. So if you could hit them with all our social media, so they can start making sure that they, follow us and stay in tune. Because we're trying to. The new thing now is we're gonna do these shows, but we're gonna put them on YouTube. So you're gonna need to like us and go to YouTube to see the shows. So talk to them about it for me.
Okay. Looking at our social media, you guys can find us at Elite Prospects. We're on Instagram, Twitter, as well as Facebook, and we also have a YouTube page. So you can find us on all platforms.
Is it Elite 100 Prospects or Elite Prospects?
Elite 100 Prospects.
Okay, cool. So y'all got that. Make sure y'all go check us out, Elite 100 Prospects, on all social media outlets out there. Hey, well, hey, man, since you right here now, man, we always like to recap last week. Last week we had a barn burner for week 3 matchup for game of the week. If we have game of the weeks like that, number one, you're going to be tired every day. but number 2, it's going to be outstanding for the community. So tell the people about game 3 and what your take was from the game.
Well, first, remember, let's go ahead and look at the first games we picked. Cocoa and Venice. That was a classic, 21-20. I think we both picked Venice to win that game. They ended up winning by 1 point. But Cocoa still proves to me and to you and to everyone else to be a very, very tough opponent. I think Venice might be top 3 teams in the whole entire state, including IMG. I think they're that good. So with Cocoa losing by 1 point on the road, if there's anything such as an impressive loss, I think they played well enough to win the game, but they did lose by 1.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Venice is easily one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the state. And with that being said, it's safe to say, in my opinion, Cocoa is one of the top teams in the state. To be honest, they definitely have had the toughest schedule of any team I've seen in the state. You got to admire from that, and I think Cocoa will definitely be, representing in the state championship game for their classification. So it's going to be real interesting to see, how that goes. So what was the next game we had that week?
Next game, it was Lake Brantley versus Lake Mary. We both picked Lake Mary. Lake Mary ended up winning 38-6. Strong defensive play, only giving up 6 points. It scored 38 points, so that's pretty good game all around. But they were able to shut down Lake Mary in that wing T offense. Lake Mary did come away with the victory.
Yeah, Lake Brantley definitely has a wing T offense. We both were pretty confident that Lake Mary will win it. I can't wait to see what Lake Mary does against Seminole. So we can see them go up against a little better competition and see what they do. So shout out to Braden Marshall. He's picked up quite a few offers, at least 5 or 6 at this point. So keep doing what he's doing. I'm proud of the young man. Who do you have up next?
Next up, we had Apopka versus Dr. Phillips. Apopka ended up winning that by 2 touchdowns, 28-14 on the road. Their offensive rushing attack just seemed to be too much for DP. At the end of the day, they ended up winning that by 2 scores.
So Apopka, that makes them 3-0. That makes DP 1-2. So APK is coming on strong. Which is pretty significant since their best player is hurt right now, and DP, Rodney has a lot of young kids, but the Rodney Wells that I know, he's going to make sure that those guys get better. He's been doing it historically. DP's always had a slow start, and for whatever reason, he has that kind of magic. We can get him going a little further. So yeah, we can go with that.
Yeah. Then the next game up, we had Okoye versus Olympia. We both picked Okoye. They dominated 35-13, 3-score victory. I knew Okoye was the superior team going into that matchup. I just thought that they would have enough athletes to win that game, and they did.
Yeah, Okoye is doing a pretty good job, especially with Coach Shep at 3-0. Look forward to seeing Okoye versus Apopka. I think that whoever wins that game will definitely win the district. That will be our game of the week, but I think it's going to be postponed due to COVID. So I'm sure they'll have to make that game up because both those teams will be probably undefeated in their district. So when it's made up, we'll definitely be there.
Right.
Next up, who do we have?
Next up, Spruce Creek with the upset victory over Mainland, 10-9. I picked Mainland to win. I guess it's pretty good defensive play, only giving up 10 points, but once again, their offense is just not been clicking, and they're 0-2.
Yeah, they're 0-2, and we look forward to those guys bouncing back. I know Travis will do what he has to do. Offense is kind of letting them down right now. Unfortunately, they have one of the better athletes playing quarterback, but he's an athlete. So, they don't have a real good trigger man back there. And, it's tough in high school when you don't have a trigger man. They have one of the top, 2024 receivers in James out there, but it's just tough right now for him. But one thing I know, Travis and DP and those boys out there, mainly, they'll get it together. They, had some real tough losses, but I'm real confident in those guys. Shout out to Spruce Creek. I know that's a big win. Everybody want to, stomp on the neck of the big dog. So out in Volusia County, everybody want a little bit of Mainland. So Mainland better tighten up, because if they don't, they're gonna be getting, people gonna be trying to drag them. So they got to do what they got to do.
Absolutely. And then last but not least, our game of the week, Jones visiting Edgewater. It was a classic, man. One of the best high school games I've been to in a long time. Edgewater ends up winning the ball game 52-49 in 4 overtimes. Beginning of the game, Jones controlled the entire first quarter, up 14-0. They actually scored on the second play of the game. First play of the game, quarterback sack. And then the second play of the game, I think it was a 85-yard touchdown pass to Ace Cobb. Then they come back, get a 3-and-out, and then they went back down and scored again, 14-0. I'm thinking the route is on. They in trouble. Edgewater gets the ball, another 3-and-out. They might have got a first down or two, but at the end of the drive, they had to punt. Jones is on their way to score again in the first quarter to go up 21-0, and they had a drop pass. It would have been a 70-yard touchdown pass. I personally think that was the play that changed the game, even though it was so early in the game. But
yeah, because 21-0 is hard to come back from, no matter who you are.
So hard. So if Jones goes up 21-0 at that point, I just think that it would have been a lot. But I give a lot of credit to Edgewater. They fought hard. They gave their thoroughbreds the ball. Cedric Baxter Jr. had 40 carries for 250 yards,
wow.
4 touchdowns in the first half. He single-handedly kept them in the game. He had 2 touchdowns in the first half, but he dominated. He ended the game with 4 touchdowns. Jeremiah Conley, every time Edgewater needed a big play, it seemed like Conley was the one to make the big play. On 4th down, they went for a fake punt. Conley got the conversion. To actually take the lead in the fourth quarter. Conley got the go-ahead touchdown. So I think Jeremiah Conley played a great game. They also had 2 touchdown passes from sophomore receiver Kai Bates, young kid, but he ended up having 2 touchdown passes. It was a surprise to me, but at the end of the day, Edgewater played a great game, and they ended up winning 52-49.
Hey man, that's I'm only smiling because man, I'm smiling not because nothing anything you say, but and you'll see on the film when they play back, you got a blur in the background and you too dark for a blur, man. Because all
Hey
it looks
man,
like
what can I say, bro? I
nah,
didn't
man.
even put the blur. The blur come up by itself.
But anyway, man, nah, I'm just giving you a hard time. But now, man, I was, at home by that time, and I remember calling because you had a rain delay, and
Correct. We got a
and so
ring
you had a
delay.
rain delay, and man, I was at home, and y'all wasn't even out of the first half. If I'd have known that, I would have came because, I was at home, at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night watching the game, and I was like, wow, this is just amazing. The only other game that probably was on that magnitude was Apopka versus DP back, in 2010 when they had all the stuff that they had. So, man, that's an amazing game. Big shout out to Edgewater because we had put out who do you got, and all the Jones High people was talking cash trash. So
Yeah.
they was talking cash trash on that. So hey man, big shout out to them boys. They didn't want to lose that game. Uh, so it'll be interesting to see how both teams fare. Uh, uh, I don't know who Edgewater has, but I know Jones. They got IMG, which is a monster coming up, on tomorrow. So that's going to be interesting.
Edgewater has East River, if I'm not mistaken. They got East River.
Yeah, they'll blow them out. But
Right.
all right, man. So we talked about that takes us through week 3. Um, do you want to go into the rankings? Or you want to say the rankings for last and go
Yeah,
into?
we go on the week to the games. We say the rankings for last.
Okay, well let's go into the games next week. You got it. Who's first up to bat?
First up the bat, we have we got Lake Mary at home versus Dr. Phillips. It's a big game for Lake Mary being undefeated. I
Right.
want to see if they're able to control the success and deal with the early season success, and if they're able to get a home victory against Dr. Phillips.
And that's the DP had a pretty tough schedule.
Right.
It looks like if they're going up against Lake Mary, that's going to be really good for those guys. Um, it's hard for me to bet against Rodney Wells. He's been doing a lot, but Lake Mary's been performing. So we're looking for more and more from Lake Mary to see them going against better competition. I don't know if DP is better competition this year or not. I know that Coach Wells will get him, the most out of him. It's going to be interesting. So who do you got in the game? Lake Mary or DP?
I got Lake Mary. I'll take Lake Mary.
All right, I'll take DP just to, like I said, sometimes we got to be a little different just for the sake of the show. So, but if I wasn't, Lake Mary for you guys out there, I think y'all got a shot to win this one. All right, who we got up next?
Next up, we're gonna go with Lake Mineola. They're gonna go on the road and go to Daytona mainland. I think it's gonna be a defensive battle, but I think Lake Mineola will score enough points to come away victorious at the end of the day.
Yeah, right now, as much as I love Travis and all them boys from Daytona, they're going to have to show me something on offense. And right now, I can't say that they can. If their defense don't score, I don't see them winning. Seriously. So I'm gonna have to go with Lake Mineola as well. Coach Banks and those guys, they're doing a pretty good job defensively. So I'm gonna have to go with those guys.
All right, cool. Next up, we're gonna go with 2 undefeated teams. We got Bayside visiting Rockledge. So I know out in their land, that's a pretty big game. In Brevard County. Rockledge is the home team, and I'm gonna go with Rockledge. I think Rockledge will win a tight game. Both teams undefeated, got a lot to prove, but I'm gonna go with Rockledge.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely go with Rockledge. I think that they got a little too much more firepower than Bayside. Rockledge toughest task, probably when they play Cocoa at the end of the season. So I'm definitely gonna go with Rockledge.
I agree. Then the last game we have will be Seminole visiting Flagler Palm Coast. another matchup of two undefeated teams. I think Seminole is one of the better teams in the state. And I expect them to come away with the win on Friday as well.
Yeah, I expect Seminole to, definitely put together a good win against those guys. I'm taking Seminole by probably at least 2 touchdowns. So shout out to those boys. The Seminole coach Lodge has done a tremendous job, and of course, Monty and Snap and all those boys out there too.
Yeah.
So who's next up? The game of the week? Are we going with what was supposed to be the game of the week? Or are we going with the new game of the week?
Well, it's supposed to be game of the week was Apopka versus Okoye, but like you mentioned earlier, it's got rescheduled due to COVID issues. Both teams undefeated, so I believe it is a game that's going to have to be played at the end of the year at some point.
Yeah.
So we're going to go with Osceola versus Olympia.
Correct.
That's going to be our new game of the week this week. Osceola is they're in our top 10. They're a very quality team. They're going to go on the road and come on down to Windermere, Florida, and visit Olympia. And I expect Osceola to win that ball game by 2 to 3 scores.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because Olympia can definitely score points if their offense is clicking. Their defense kind of has let them down a little bit, but I would definitely go with Osceola. I think those boys will be ready to play. It's a district game for both teams. If either one of them unfortunately don't do well, it could be ugly. So I look forward to that game being a really good game. So I look forward to that as well. Let's see what else we got. What else? You ready to go into week 4? You want to? We got anything else we need to discuss before we go into week 4?
No, basically besides that, just encourage everyone to go and follow us on all social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter. Elite 100 Prospects. Elite 100 Prospects. Follow us. Other than that, though, we can get into the top 10.
Okay. Top 10. We're gonna start off from the bottom. At number 10, coming in was Okoye Knights. We've kind of talked to everybody about them. They're 3-0. They had a big win last week against Olympia. One of the things that unfortunately they had a rash of COVID to hit the team, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to make that game up when they do play Apopka, who's higher ranked. You got anything you want to tell the people about maybe an offensive player and a defensive player for both for Okoye that people might not know or they may even know about?
Okoye, obviously on the defensive side, we'll start with Big Jordan. And I think that's where the game is won a lot of the times up front. Jordan Phillips, they're a magnificent senior defensive tackle, committed to Tennessee.
Yep.
Very, very, very productive defensive tackle, very disruptive on offense. I love Charles Pierre Jr. I actually played against his dad in high school. Charles Pierre, he played at Lake Highland at the time, but he reminds me of his dad, not as big, but very, very productive runner, always falling forward. I like Pierre.
Yeah, and also a big shout out to Trey, who has Calvin Smith, who's my birthday buddy, and he got an offer from Virginia Tech yesterday. So big shout out to him. Number 9, Lake Mineola. They're kind of, we don't know what they are as well. We talked about the game this week. I know that they're doing a pretty good job defensively, even in the game they lost. They returned like 9 starters. Remember, they're state runner-up. They got quite a few kids, on the defensive line. Like you said, in the trenches, Nick Campbell. They got McGlure out there in the corner, and they got, a plethora of other guys that are doing a good job. You got anything else to say about Lake Mineola?
Yeah, I think it's a team built on defense. You mentioned the main stars, Campbell, McGlure. They also have young D tackle, Jacob Thornton. But I just couldn't imagine if Flakes would have went back to Lake Mineola. That would have been 10 starters returning. That's crazy.
Yeah, they did a tremendous job. So I think they're going to be there. Then I can't wait. I think not all of us can't wait to see the matchup between them against Jones, because Jones, obviously the strength of their team is offense, and obviously the strength of Lake Minneola's defense. So that I'm pretty sure that's one game that we all can't wait to go to. All right,
Yeah.
number 8 is actually Osceola Cowboys. Um, they had basically a cupcake game last week against Toho. Call it what it is. They scored 63, but hell, their third string guys, you know, probably got more time than their first string guys. They could have easily probably put 100 up on them if they wanted to. Well, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I agree with you. I can't wait to see Osceola's offense on Friday.
Me too.
I want to see Chad Mascow Jr. Throw the ball around. I like to see Osceola to come out very aggressive. I know everyone is used to Osceola pounding the ball, but I think that Chad gives them that passing game that helps balance out that team. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do this Friday.
Yeah, I expect a lot out of little Chad for certain. The defense, I expect them to go out and do what they've been doing. Like you said, hopefully they go ahead and open it up, because I expect it to be an open up game. We know that Olympia's going to throw it 40, 50 times a game. We know that
Yeah.
off the rip. But we'll see what happens with those guys. Number 7, Lake Mary Rams. We talked about them. Once again, like I said, Braden Marshall picked up another offer this week. I think he got Maryland and West Virginia yesterday or something like that. Gunner's been doing a tremendous job. He might mess around, and I know he's committed to USF, but somebody else may really give him a look, because he's doing a great job over there. You got any takeaways for Lake Mary?
Lake Mary, another team, smart team. I think they're also built on their defense. So they have a gunslinger, like you said, in high school football, at any level. If you don't have a quarterback who can win you ball games, it's going to be hard for you to be a very good team. Lake Mary has a quarterback that can win them ball games. They have a very good defense, and therefore they're undefeated at the moment.
Right now, number 6 is Rockledge. Those boys, man, uh, like it's interesting because they haven't had we all know that they're playing some steady competition, but they haven't had like those signature games yet against somebody that is top 10. We know at the end of the year that Coco, that's going to be a game right there. But we know that the wide receiver Ryan Black's doing a great job, which means quarterback's doing a great job as well. He's only a sophomore, so anything you got to say about those guys?
Well, according to the Brevard County rankings, this is a 2 versus 3 matchup this week. So this will be their early season test versus Bayside team, both undefeated teams. So we'll learn a lot about Rockledge after this week.
Everybody knows in Brevard County is Coco and Rockledge. Like,
Yeah.
let's
I
not try
know.
to act like Bayside is for to really turn it up or nothing like that. I mean, I don't know. I wish those boys in Bayside good luck for certain, but everything in Coco is always Coco and Rockledge. So number 5. This is where it gets a little dicey. I
A little
think there's been
tricky.
some changes made, but the committee went with this. Number 5, Jones High. I mean, Joe High had a lead, lost. They could easily, have won the game. But they did lose, and you definitely can't have them losing and being in front of Edgewater. So Jones High is definitely number 5 on the list. We kind of went over Jones High. My biggest thing is, boy, they got a big one this week. Because and I don't want to hear nobody coming to me talking about they should drop because they lost to IMG. Because there's not a team in the state that is going to beat IMG. Let's just cut to
Thank
the
you.
chase. So we're not going to even do that kind of stuff. So they'll probably be 2-2. Because it's very now if they pull off now I'm telling you that if they beat IMG, I don't give a
They jumping back to the top.
I don't care. I don't care who's at number 1. They will.
They
They
jumping
would, but
back.
but I wouldn't bet my money they'll beat IMG. So so you got anything to say about Joe High?
I mean, Jones, one of my favorite teams to watch in the area. I love to watch their offense. But like you said, they could have easily won that game. I didn't mention in the third overtime, Jones missed the field goal
Yeah,
attempt, right?
yeah.
Craziest thing. I'm thinking, oh, Edgewater got this game won right now. The very next play, Edgewater fumbles.
Yeah, said I was actually watching. I was like, oh well, here's three downs to say it, and they out of there, And
Yeah,
they gave him the ball, he fumbled. I was like, oh man. But uh, the beautiful thing about that game is that those kids will be talking about that, 20 years from now. They'll be able to
yeah,
talk about how that happened. Because I know the game with Apopka and DP, that's been over 10 years, and those boys still talk about it. So, salute to both of those teams. Number three, this is another one. Honestly, uh, we left them right where they was at, Cocoa, because you can't put Edgewater in front of Cocoa when Edgewater went to the same place the week before and lost 41-7.
right.
Cocoa lost 21-20, and they could have won that game.
I think we
And
skipped four though. We skipped
four
four.
was Edgewater.
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess I combine them both together. But four is definitely Edgewater. For
Okay,
Edgewater,
four
because
Edgewater.
because and we kind of talked about Edgewater. That's why I think I just jumped this club. But four is
All
definitely
right, cool,
Edgewater,
cool.
and for the reasons being, like we said, you can't have Jones in front of Edgewater if they lost. But
Right.
with that also being said, Coco's three, because you can't jump Edgewater in front of Cocoa when Cocoa the week before lost 41-7, and I'm not Cocoa, Edgewater, and Cocoa went down there and it was a 21-20
Lost by
game.
one.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean that down there, that's pretty good, man. So that actually makes me look at them, with a lot of respect. Like, honestly, we could argue Cocoa could be higher, but just off the strength of the two teams that are higher, the tradition and all that stuff, we felt it would be unfair. So number two, that's the Apopka Blue Daughters. It's a lot of resiliency to lose your best player on defense and still perform defensively like they've been doing. I mean,
Right.
I have a lot of respect for those guys. They've done a tremendous job. They seem to rally around each other. It's not a whole bunch of, big names on that defense. You have, Josiah and Trey, of course, but beyond that, most people can, and Kevin Call. But to be honest, the guys that are making the plays are the guys who don't have the names, like the Mike Spains, the Troy Leas, the Andre Phillips.
Andre Phillips.
Yeah, those are guys that are making the plays for those guys, and they're all seniors. So, that's a tribute to, they having that kind of depth where you got guys like that who weren't even getting on the field, but they're really the guys making plays right now.
Right.
You got anything to say about the eight?
Apopka does not surprise me. Very resilient ball club. I think the culture is a brotherhood. They want to play for each other. They want to win for each other. I mean, the team led by their defense, and then they run a offense that's hard to stop, so to speak. So they play good defense. They score a couple times. Now you're chasing them, and that's the hard game. That's the hard game to play.
All right, and then number one on the list is Sanford Seminole. Now, I just want to, it's always an issue with all my Sanford Seminole guys. They gonna call me, they gonna text me. Eddie Key, I'm gonna name y'all. Snap. Now I gotta give Monty credit. Monty don't be doing all that. I gotta give Monty credit. But those cats always gotta say, oh, Bird, Darius Bryant, yes, sir, Bird. So they number one. So the only way they can lose it really is if Jones just beat IMG, which is impossible, or them boys go out and lay an egg. So speaking of brotherhood, they definitely a team of brotherhood out there as well. We're gonna see what they do, but I look forward to those boys, trying to make a run to repeat as state champions.
Yep, I think Seminole is a great team. Very deserving of the number one spot. I will be the first to say though that I did have my number one vote for Coco. But respectively, Seminole is undefeated. They're defending champs, and it's a very good ball club. You can't take nothing away from Seminole. Nothing away. That's a very good team.
All right. Well, hey, there it is. Hey, so there you go. Hey, Seminole, we look forward to watching you guys. I think they're going to be game of the week in the next week or two. One of those games, I know that. So we look forward to watching you guys out there in Bow-Key do your thing. So, man, with that being said, hey, everybody, if you watch this show, that means you went to YouTube hey, make sure you get people to go to YouTube, sign up. But now we're going to go into something that we're going to let y'all in on a little secret. There's going to be an Elite 100 All-Star Senior game. So we need your help to make sure that you go to YouTube so that we can broadcast it on YouTube when we do the game in January. So make sure we need to have over 1,000 people to subscribe to us on YouTube. So we're going to be putting out nominations to the coaches to submit their nominations. The game we will put the names of the kids out. We'll have a show on October 3rd, which is on a Monday. So anything about you want to say about that, AJ? Sponsors, if you want to get any sponsorships, make sure you hit us up at elite100prospects@gmail.com. We can email you a sponsorship package. We look forward to working with anyone who wants to do that. You got anything you want to say to the people, AJ?
No, I'm just really excited about the All-Star game. It's going to be a fun day. Won't give out too many more secrets, but I'm very excited about that All-Star game. Like you mentioned, we're going to get coaches' feedback as well as far as nominations on seniors that they think are deserving to play in the game. So we just want to bring out the communities, Orange County, Osceola County, Lake County. That'll be one ball club. And then the other squad is the West. That will be Brevard, Volusia, and Seminole County. So we just want to bring those 6 counties together, put on a very good show, and let the kids showcase their talents.
Yes, sir. So hey, we look forward to everyone participating and having a good time out there. It'll be 50 kids on both sides. If you'd like to once again sponsor, make sure you hit us up either on social media or hit us up on email at elite100prospects@gmail.com. And coaches, you should be getting your nomination forms sent to you via email by Sunday. All right, with that being said, man, we haven't done that we need to do 2 things. College game of the week, Alabama, Florida. Who you got?
Come on now. Do I got to take the game straight up or the point spread?
No, we won't point spread. Just straight up. Just straight up.
Straight up. I'm taking Bama. Bama. Like, what's the choice to be made?
Yeah, that's no choice. It's not really a good one. But we in Florida country, so
much respect to my Gators, though. No disrespect. I'm just not stepping in front of the Bama train.
I agree. I'm with that. And also, before I forget, starting next week, we're going to allow you to start sending us emails or tweets to ask us about certain programs, your favorite programs, why your team in it, and we'll choose about 5 to 10 questions to answer right here. So we look forward to that coming. So once again, we've given you our social media platforms and our email. We'll do it again, elite100prospects@gmail.com, elite100prospects, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
And
Facebook. And last but certainly not least, it is Thursday night game of the week. The Washington Redskins versus the New York Giants. Who you got, big dog? Who you got? Hey, that's a heck of a game of the week, man. You got to think about it. Washington lost their quarterback.
They did. So might impress a couple people. So Daniel Jones is 4-19 as a starter in the NFL.
Yes.
He's 4-0 against the Redskins. So the man has never lost against the Redskins. Saquon is supposed to be back tonight.
Yep.
But the Redskins defense.
Who looked terrible against the Chargers, by the way. But go ahead.
But in my opinion, I think the Chargers are a quality ball club.
Yeah, the Chargers offensive line was stomping that D. I don't know if New York has that kind of offensive line.
And so, if anything, last week woke up the Redskins. So I'm gonna take the Redskins.
Yeah, I was hoping to bait you in that because I damn sure would take a Giants. So we on the same.
I got one more though. Sunday game of the week. Who you got? Ravens or the Chiefs?
Chiefs all day. Chiefs is not even a question. Those boys are gonna blow those boys out. I think it's in Kansas City, ain't it?
It might. No, I think it's in Baltimore.
Either way, it don't matter. I'm gonna go with those guys, man. So even though I want Lamar to do well, but
why? You got him on your fantasy team?
I had him last week. He did that for me, but
Who you got on your fantasy team this week?
I can't tell you because we in a group together. But I got let's see.
You can't tell the people?
I got Tyler Hinkey.
Yeah, right.
I got let's see, Devontae Freeman.
No way.
Watch out for me. That's what I got. So
That's your sleeper pick.
that's not both of them. I got both of them. So you'll be able to see me, with those boys. So hey, I might even whip out old Dante Culpepper, Andrew Luck, anybody, but I better do better than I did last week. That's all I know. So no, man. So I appreciate you, man. So we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. We look forward to spending more time with you. Once again, if you have questions for us, make sure you hit us up on social media and we talk to you later. Peace.
Peace.